points that camera. Okay, great. All right, so here's the middle foramen mark. So you feel it with your finger. They're about that low on the crest. And then Paul's going to mark the midline here, which is also an important feature. But as I said before, if you're ever doubting where the midline is, you can go ahead and essentially retract the tongue. You'll see the genioglossus muscle attached to the lingual aspect anteriorly to the geniotubercles. So you can always tell where the midline is, and that helps you position your middle implant. So if we're going to do this, let's say that we're going to make a crestal incision on the basis of the fact that there's good attached tissue here. I'm not too worried about making my incision to bone when I know the middle foramen is that far inferiorly positioned. If this ridge were resorbed to the point where that was on the crest of the ridge, I'd be very careful about making a deep incision back here. And so I'm just going to go on the crest of the ridge. I'm just going to go from one side to the other. Again, this is on the basis of anticipating where the bead of tissue is that I want to preserve to the labial aspect of my implants. So it's just essentially a half circle or a quarter circle all the way posterior. And again, because I know that my mental nerve is inferiorly positioned, I'm pretty free to make this incision all the way to bone, all the way along the crest. And again, this is the model. Now, if you get to the point where you have this incision made and you want to go ahead and tear off the plastic tissue to make your drilling easier because you don't have a scissor, you can. In some situations, we will go ahead and make a midline release incision in some situations if this doesn't reflect very easily, because this circumference is less than the circumference here, and sometimes it's hard to reflect or retract. Don't often do that, but it's possible. And then, as I said before, some people make their incision essentially down here. They'll make their incision inferiorly in the mucogingival, inferior to the mucogingival junction in this mucosal area, and then reflect it lingually. I don't like to do that, but it's a little, and you still have to remove the attached tissue from the crest. So go ahead and make sure that incision is all the way through, and then level with some. And then the other thing that I guess I stabilize with one hand, but when you start to retract this to reflect this tissue, you got to work at it a little bit, and you'll have to scrape back and forth to go with your linear incision to get that bead of tissue to retract. Now there is a nice retractor, we call it the Brandmark retractor, that allows you to retract the lips. It actually helps hold this flap open when it's retracted. I don't think we have it here at the Zimmer Institute, but because we don't need to retract the lips, but it works pretty well for the anterior mandible. Keep on. And go ahead and go posteriorly. But it's close. Same thing over here. There's my middle nerve right there. Right in the area where I put the dot, almost directly on top of it. So that's going to tell me where my posterior implant needs to be. So that's good. Now, again, looking at the midline, I'll